Hi, David. How are you?
Hi, Maz. How you doing? I was very much looking forward to talking to you. I mean, certainly we're very well familiar with your career, and we're looking forward to your show at the Just for Laughs Festival. You'll be performing on Wednesday, July 11th, Thursday, July 12th, twice on Friday, the July 13th, and twice on Saturday, July 14th. Are you going to be able to handle all that time in Montreal?
Well, I don't know if you looked at the full schedule. I'm actually doing, I start on July 11th, and I perform all the way to July 26th. So, even longer than you thought, my friend.
I was just looking at the ethnic show.
Yeah, no, ethnic show. So, I'm hosting the ethnic
Right.
show. I don't know. I think they got, like, I don't know what the number is. There's, like, 15 or 16 shows they got going from the 11th until, I think, the 24th or 25th. And then on the 23rd, I'm doing my own solo show. Then on
Wow.
the 25th, I'm on Howie Mandel's Gala. So I don't know. I honestly haven't even done the numbers, but I think I'm doing something like, I don't know, 20 shows or something.
We will list every single one of those shows on our website when we put up the interview. So the thing that I find interesting, first of all, you know, you're on the ethnic show with Orny Adams, who's presented with an Israeli flag in the background. He was brought up in Lexington, Massachusetts. Does like anybody Jewish automatically become Israeli or what?
You know, I was thinking the same thing. I was actually thinking about what I'm going to talk about when either before or after he's on stage. I was going to say, you know, Orny Adams, he's Jewish, but it's the best we could do. We couldn't get an Israeli out, so we got Orny Adams, as you said, from Kentucky or wherever.
No, Lexington, Massachusetts. Lexington, Massachusetts is probably the whitest.
Better than Kentucky.
It's the whitest place ever. But so one.
Yeah, you know, hey, listen, I grew up in Marin County, Northern California, Marin County in the Bay Area, another very white place, and I'm representing Iran. So there you
Right,
go.
but you were born in Iran.
A white place. They're going to white places and seeing who they can get from the white place that is the ethnic in the white place.
Well, no one's going to move from Iran and live in, like, you know, South Central, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. A lot of Iranians, especially when I came, it was at the revolution. So the people that were able to get out around then were the ones who had the facility, or I should say the finances to get out. So yes, I think most Iranians move to nice places. As a matter of fact, currently, I think Beverly Hills has, I think the biggest ethnic community in Beverly Hills are Persians. Persian Jews.
The mayor of Beverly Hills is Persian, isn't he?
The former mayor of Beverly Hills is Jimmy Del Shad. That's my man. That's my
Right.
man. He's a really cool dude, and yeah, he was Persian. Yeah.
And you drive down Robertson, and it's like Arabic writing everywhere, right?
Well, no, it's actually Persian writing.
Persian writing. Sorry.
It's the same, but Persian is, and that's Westwood Boulevard. So Westwood Boulevard in Westwood has Persian stores for like half a mile left and right.
Right.
And then what you're talking about at the corner of Robertson and Pico is one of our biggest Persian supermarkets. It's called Eilat Market. It's a Persian Jewish kosher supermarket. Great produce for very, very cheap. At the same time, it's got the narrowest aisles, and it's got old Persian ladies that will hip check you and elbow you in the wrists if you try to grab the cucumber before they do.
Exactly. So you've been in North America the vast majority of your life, but you're still billed as a Persian Iranian comic. And I think part of what makes your comedy so interesting is that despite this length in North America, you're still kind of like on the outside looking in, which is sort of the common denominator of all ethnic humor and Jewish humor, you know. I think you would actually be more of a Jewish comedian than Orny Adams.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I think, first of all, I personally define myself as a comedian who happens to be Iranian American. I don't, when someone says Iranian American comedian or Iranian comedian, I go, not really, because I think there's a little bit of a misunderstanding. I think if someone is not Iranian and they hear Iranian or Iranian American comedian, they think, oh, this guy's just going to be talking about being Iranian, I'm not going to get it. And then if someone is Iranian and they hear Iranian comedian, they're going to think that I'm going to be doing a show in Persian and only about being Iranian. Well, the fact is, anyone who's seen my shows, or like they can watch my most recent one, Immigrant, on Netflix, they'll see that I do a lot of political material that has nothing to do with being Iranian. I talk about being an immigrant, but it's my take on Trump and the travel ban and the elections and all that stuff. And then I talk about my family, my kids, my wife. There's a section I talk about, I go around the room asking people how they say the word balls in their language. I mean, it's like, I do silly jokes. I mean, so...
And your wife's Indian, isn't she?
I feel like I'm a comedian. My wife is Indian. My wife was born in India, and she left when she was 6 months old and grew up in America. So we're both immigrants to America. And again, I honestly don't choose the billing myself. Like, even being on the ethnic show, I try to tell people, look, you're going to get some ethnic material, but, not all the comics there are going to be just talking about, like, oh, I'm Venezuelan, therefore X, Y, and Z, One of the things that I learned, actually, at some point, because when I first started doing stand-up, I did take a stand-up comedy class, and they encouraged us to talk about what made us different. And I was the only Iranian American in the class, so I would talk about issues of growing up Iranian in America. But then later on, I realized at one point that I had a lot in common, not just with Iranians, but with immigrants in general to America. And so that's when I started saying, immigrant families are like this, immigrant families are like that. I used to do a joke about how my grandmother used to carry all of her cash in her bra. And I said that we used to think she was a D cup until one day when we went to buy a house and she pulled the down payment out of her bra and we realized she's an A cup. And then we looked closer, we realized it was Grandpa. And that Grandma had been missing. So that was the joke, and I remember doing it one time at the Laugh Factory in Los Angeles, and I look out in the audience, and there's these two Latina girls that are falling out of their chairs laughing, and I go, oh my God, Latina grandmothers put their money in their bra as well. And then, then people would tell me, oh, my Italian grandmother did that all the time. And so I go, wow, we all have a lot in common.
But ultimately, America, writ large, including Canada, is a land full of immigrants. And I think that a lot of your comedy resonates with everybody, except maybe the whitest, of the white, off the Mayflower folks or whatnot. But I think the majority of the country is certainly founded by immigrants, and the sensibility is one that I mean, I can certainly relate to it because I'm an immigrant. I was born in Israel. I grew up in Canada. Now I live in Israel again, and I'm like, I don't belong anywhere. I'm always on the outside. Not Israeli enough, not Canadian enough, but...
Absolutely, yeah. I think you're absolutely right. I feel the same. Like, I never felt Iranian enough, and I never felt American enough. I always felt like an outsider, and you're right. I think as a comedian, that's a great angle because we are observing others from the outside, and you're right. I think people either have had the immigrant experience or they know of people that have had the immigrant experience. For example, in warming up for my special last year, I went, because I shot the special at the Kennedy Center in D.C., so the night before I said I want to go an hour outside of D.C. and run the show at a venue. And so somebody lined up a show in a place, I think it was called Fredericksburg. It was an hour outside of D.C., and it was all white. Like there was no black or Asian or anything like that. Even there, when I said, oh, are there any immigrants? People were in the back going like, yeah, my mom's Italian, or like my grandfather was Irish, like everyone has a way to relate to that. So absolutely, I think that hopefully, and I think the more you talk about your own experiences, the more people you realize people relate. I mean, even if they weren't immigrants, they may relate. For example, I do a bit about how when you are an immigrant kid in America, you're trying your hardest to blend in with all the other American kids, and how you don't want your parents coming to any of your school events, because when they show up, they blow your cover. And I know that whether you're an immigrant or not, we all have had those years of our lives when we're just embarrassed of our parents. We don't want them around.
Exactly.
So, you relate to that.
Exactly. Now, how does the current political climate with the Iran nuclear deal and just the general sense of unpleasantness between American and Iranian governments, how does that affect your outlook? I mean, I know you're not a representative of the mullahs, you're not a member of the IRGC, you're not invading Syria or taking over Lebanon. That's not on you, but does that affect you at all? Does that inform your comedy?
The way I look at it, I came to America 40 years ago, and as soon as I came, a year later, the hostage crisis happened, and my family was fleeing the government of Iran under the mullahs. We were fleeing the mullahs, and then the mullahs took, the Ayatollahs or whatever, that government took hostages. But then in America, they were so, I should say, uneducated about the whole thing that suddenly we started getting beaten up for something that the government that we left was doing. So, people that I knew, I was bullied, and I know people that I knew were getting beaten up for being Iranian, but we had nothing to do with it. If anything, we were on the side of America.
Right.
100% in that case. 40 years ago, nobody liked Iran. I go, still, nobody liked Iran. Iran has been in every travel ban the Trump administration has put out, and in all honesty, I supported the nuclear deal, and the reason was because I know that for 40 years, or almost 40 years, we were, Iran and America were enemies, and they were pushing at each other, and what that did was that gave the current government an excuse, so that if the economy was suffering, or if there was lack of opportunity for young people, or the pollution, or whatever it was, they would always say, look, the reason is because of America. America is, the great Satan has put sanctions on us, therefore we're suffering. So I thought, and I agreed with, listening to John Kerry and the Obama administration talk about it, I said, you know what? I agree with this idea of let's try diplomacy, let's loosen the sanctions, let's let the Iranian economy possibly improve, and in doing so, I thought one of two things would happen. Either that they would come more and more into the world fold, and in doing so, given the internet, given what young people are seeing, more people in Iran would push the government to become more open, as opposed to being as oppressive as they are. They would push because they say, look around us, all these other countries, Europe, America, everywhere else, there's a lot more freedoms. They would push if they were part of the world economy. Or number two, I thought, if we open it up and the economy still was suffering, then the mullahs would have no one to blame but themselves, and then there would be change from within. Because in my opinion, the only other option is to do some sort of
war,
militaristic strike against Iran, and I just feel that unfortunately would kill a lot of innocent Iranians. I don't want Iran to be another Iraq where hundreds of thousands of innocent Iraqis have died. And so the question becomes, what's the solution? I honestly don't know what the solution is, but I don't think war is the answer.
I agree. I'm Israeli, and we had a campaign in Israel that I'm sure you're familiar with that was viral, and it was like Israel loves Iran. Iranian Jews all over my neighborhood in Jerusalem. We love your food. Ethnically, we're very close, and we hope that everything works out fine. But we're looking for. I'm personally looking forward to seeing your show. Again, we're going to have all the links to all the times that Maz Jobrani is going to be performing at the Just for Laughs festival. And that's it. You got anything you want to say to your fans in Israel?
Yeah, just I hope I'm out there perform one day. I want to perform for the Israelis. I want to perform for the Palestinians. I really feel that comedy can bring us all together. I've traveled the world, man, and what you just said, it's like the people, we all have so much in common. And
exactly.
When I see governments pushing us against each other and people buying into it, it just breaks my heart.
Yeah, screw that. Awesome. So before they hang us up, I'm gonna just thank you for your time, and we'll see you just for laughs.
Thank you. Fantastic. See you there.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.